As a supplement to the online TMC OSHA training, we are providing an outline of the updated Hazard Communication Standard and some important details that you need to be aware of. On March 26, 2012, updates to the Hazard Communication Standard were published to align this rule with the United Nations Globally Harmonized System of Classification and Labeling, also known as GHS. Communications of hazards will be consistent worldwide on classification of chemicals, labeling from manufacturers, and information on safety data sheets. Chemical manufacturers have begun the process of classifying chemicals based on criteria assigned in the regulation. In order for a chemical to be hazardous, it has to create a health hazard or a physical hazard. Health hazards indicate that there is significant evidence based on at least one study that acute or chronic health effects may occur in exposed employee. This could cause irritation, heart or kidney disease, or even cancer. Physical hazards are likely to burn or contribute to fire. They may explode or release high pressures that can inflict bodily injury. They could also spontaneously react on their own or when exposed to water. As manufacturers classify chemicals, you will see this important information communicated to you through the updated labels on the chemicals you receive in your practice. These are key label elements that chemical manufacturers must include on every chemical produced. Pictogram means a composition that may include a symbol plus other graphic elements such as a border, background pattern, or color that is intended to convey specific information about the hazards of a chemical. Signal word means a word used to indicate the relative level of severity of a hazard and alert the reader to a potential hazard on the label. The signal words are danger and warning. Danger is used for the more severe hazards, while warning is used for the less severe. Hazard statements are phrases assigned to a hazard class and category that describe the nature of the hazard. A couple of examples are harmful if swallowed or highly flammable liquid. Precautionary statements are phrases that describe recommended measures that employees should take to minimize or prevent adverse effects resulting from exposure to a hazardous chemical or improper storage or handling. Next, we will take a look at pictograms that have been included in the HazCom update. Remember, these pictograms are going to communicate the health hazards and the physical hazards on the label from the manufacturer. The first one is the skull and crossbones. This indicates that the chemical could cause severe health hazards and may even cause death. An example would be chloroform. The next one is health hazards which may be immediate or chronic, may cause cancer, reproductive problems, breathing problems, or attack specific organs. An example is formaldehyde. The exclamation mark indicates that the product could cause health issues but are typically reversible. It may include irritation of the skin and respiratory tract. Examples included are isopropyl alcohol and acetic acid. The flame symbol indicates that the chemical may catch on fire and burn easily. It includes gases, liquids, and/or solids, such as ethyl alcohol and ammonia. You may see this next pictogram as a physical hazard and a health hazard, since it could cause skin corrosion and it is corrosive to metals. An example is bleach. The next one is an exploding bomb. It could blow up or cause an explosion. An example would be TNT. Gases under pressure which could explode or become a projectile if the container is damaged would be compressed air and nitrogen. Now the flame over circle represents oxidizing liquids. Notice this is different than the other fire pictogram that we just looked at, since this one needs a catalyst to cause the fire, such as air or other chemicals. Examples included would be oxygen and hydrogen peroxide. Okay, again, here are the pictograms that you need to be able to recognize. Once the new labels are produced by the manufacturers, you will only see one pictogram per category. So the categories are physical hazards and health hazards. For example, you would not see the skull and crossbones combined with the exclamation mark because you would only have the pictogram which represents the greatest hazard. Now, as you notice, there are 9 pictograms total on the screen. OSHA only wants you to make sure you can recognize 8 of these 9. The one in the lower right-hand corner is environmental hazards. This is non-mandatory under OSHA regulations. Now let's take a look at an example of the new labels. So as you look at the label, you identify the pictograms and these communicate the hazards to you. On the upper left-hand corner, you do see the skull and crossbones in this example. This means it could cause severe health hazards or even death. On the upper right, you do see physical hazards. In this example, this one may catch on fire easily. Also note that your signal word is danger. The hazard statement is here. It is toxic if swallowed, flammable, liquid, and vapor. Last but not least, make sure that you read the precautionary statements because this is the information that is key so that you know how to protect yourself while using the product. To supplement the information included on the labels, Material Safety Data Sheets, or MSDS, will be updated to a consistent 16-section format. The updated documents will be referred to as Safety Data Sheets, or SDS. Important sections to review would be Section 2, where the hazard is identified, and pictograms will most likely be repeated in this section. Section 4 gives you first aid measures information. Section 6, of course, is going to let you know how to clean up a spill with the product. And Section 8 tells you what PPE to have in place and what appropriate personal protective equipment would be when you're using this product. Now with compliance dates, of course, the final compliance date is June 1st of 2016 with certain elements of the standard. However, most importantly, the focus is on training the employees about the changes. This must take place by December 1st of 2013. So congratulations, you are now compliant with the required training component for the HazCom update. This concludes the updated hazard communication training component of the TMC OSHA training program.